Oh my god. Hi everybody, sorry about the delay. I was eating. Look, I ate! Aren't you proud of me? Thank you for the resub, Lark! Thank you! Alright. So. Hi, Exception. I am Ascella Vivace, magical idol. Hello. There's Exception on my shoulder.
Hi. I'm on the shoulder. I'm also fancy.
You are fancy. You're quite distinguished.
Thanks.
I do have some wine in honor of Van Zeeks.
Good.
Yep. Yep. Hallowed chalice and all that. Okay, housekeeping first, guys. We're almost at the end, aren't we, Exception?
Yeah.
You said it'll be this section and then a really long section, right?
Theoretically, I don't know how to gauge the length that well.
Well, guess what, guys? Sunday, I don't know what time I'm starting, but it'll be all Ace Attorney all the time on Sunday. We're gonna finish this. So, I'll try to decide, like, by the end of tonight what time to do things on Sunday, but yeah, it'll be happening. Yep. And well, I guess I missed the opportunity to talk about that. Should talk about it on Monday. Oh well. Yeah. Okay, that's all I got. As usual, spoiler warning, everyone. Spoiler alert. It's bad. It's bad at this point. So, be aware. Let me do one little thing real quick. Same thing I forget to do every week. What? Okay. Good. All right. So, we are approaching the end. Oh god, how much Iris am I gonna have to voice? Good god. Probably less, since we're back in the courtroom. But
yeah, maybe some to start, though.
Maybe some to start, yeah. What? Recap of what happened last time. So, yeah. Sholmes and brain, please work.
Eugen.
Yeah. Mr. Mikotoba, did a little investigating for us on our behalf on the SS Grouse, and found a man in a chest, as usual, as you do on steamships these days. And we subsequently found out that maybe not subsequently, but around the same time, we figured out that there was an assassin exchange between Japan and Britain, and the assassin from Japan is the man himself, Kazuma. So this is what we've been led to believe, and that Judge Jigoku is, like, somehow involved in this. So how does it all come together? We don't know yet. How does it all add up? We don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll be finding out in the next couple of episodes. Am I nervous? Yes. Am I afraid? Yes. Wow, Pianui is here, but not here. Hello again, Pianui. Hi, Pianui. I just totally spoiled a bunch of stuff. I hope you didn't hear any of that.
Yeah. Also, Pianui was with me for a lot of my stream, which only ended like an hour and a half ago.
Oh, dang.
We were on a Sun road trip. It was great.
Ah, fun. Were you both in the game together, or was Pianui just cheering you on from the chat?
Pianui was cheering me on. I was cheering the ship on.
Ah, yeah. That's fair.
Sit there
Boy.
for an hour just waiting for it to accelerate.
I gotta turn you down. I don't know why, but every single time I open OBS, all of my sound stuff is like wonk. You were like busting eardrums there for a second. You were hitting like the middle of the yellow. You're good now. You're just barely touching the yellow now. That's where I wanted to, that's where I want the sound to be. So
Fair.
who knows? We just make shit up in this channel. Yeah. Also, I'm not the kind of person to gripe about my numbers, and I am not griping about my numbers, but I keep going up to 525 and going back down to 524. So everybody tell a friend to follow and stay followed. So I can be at a nice happy number that I enjoy, that 525 or higher. But yeah, I keep gaining and losing followers, and I'm not sure what's up with that. But anybody for the good of the brain meats, tell a friend about Ascella Vivace Magical Idol. My content should be diversifying just a little bit coming up, and I'll probably spend some more time talking on Sunday unless I'm just dead tired after the stream. But I'm probably gonna be streaming more after the new year, so just some things to think about. Okay, well, that said, high exception. It's Ace Attorney time. I'm gonna load the game.
Yeah.
Let's get started. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm so like... Wait.
Nothing unusual here.
No, why did it auto-save at Sholmes' suite, and then we're in the trial? I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Probably because you advanced slightly.
Oh, mayhaps. Okay. Are you
No
ready?
worries. I'm ready.
No worries? What? Why would I be worried? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I'm worried. Okay. Oops. Forgot to put up my screen, my talkie screen that keeps me from being so echoey. Okay. 9:30 a.m. on November 4th. Oh my goodness. Okay. There he is, the man himself. He's taking the stand.
Oh man, we're going straight into no outside section. We're just in it.
I guess so. I mean, not. I guess not. I guess yes.
No Iris though. Congratulations to
I
you.
know. Congratulations. Yay.
Yep. Okay. I had a busy day, so I've not had time to prepare voices.
Just take a deep cleansing breath and get ready to be the men ever.
I will be
Courtroom
some of
full
them.
of dudes.
Court dude.
Courtroom full of dudes.
Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement.
Oh, sorry.
I think that's a number.
That's close enough. Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings.
Huh.
The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot. Well, I say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion,
Remember what happens if I don't like this man at the end of this game.
Just listen to what he has to say.
I don't want to listen to him. I will, for you. But I don't want to.
This is why I'm voicing him, so you'll listen to him.
that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Okay. I believe you, kind of. Sort of.
Councils, you will undertake this trial with the resolve to pursue the truth to the bitter end.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
Okay, he's motivating us. We're being motivated. I'm
Let's do his
motivated.
Resolve. Yes. That's my intention. Kazuma. Kazuma!
My lord, if I may inquire. The defendant may speak.
This courtroom is out of control!
On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor?
Well, we're already here! Oh. Don't even defend yourself, Kazuma. There's no defending you right now.
He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution.
Oh my god. Oh, did you? Okay, sorry. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart. My voice is shot today. Good god. Requesting that judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
You did what?
I know, right, Van Zeeks? I'm kind of on your side on this one. Kind of on your side on this one. In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has all been leading up to this 1 day. Kazuma. Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper. Get him, Kazuma. I'm on nobody's side at this point. I'm just like, fight, fight, fight! It's fine. Kazuma is bristling with hostility today. Poor Ryunosuke, who's just sitting here and he's like, I thought I knew Kazuma, and now I feel like I have never known this man. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's some gaslighting bullshit, but not intentional gaslighting. Necessarily. He probably didn't mean to, like, mislead Ryunosuke, but... that's rough. I get the distinct impression we're heading into very dangerous territory. Susato! Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us? She's actually got it worse than Ryunosuke, huh? Yikes.
As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request. The defense finds this acceptable, I presume.
Do we? Yes, my lord.
In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Barak Van Zeeks.
Oh, that's good music. That's good music right there.
Yeah, it is.
Good! The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Kazuma, is this a suicide mission? Because I don't like that. Oh, God.
Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough.
It's been like
6 minutes max.
6 minutes.
Prosecutor Asogi, begin!
As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jigoku into the courtroom. Damn. Alas then, we've reached the final battle.
And we've reached a problem. because I've basically given Jigoku and Strongheart the same voice.
Uh-oh. You gotta
So
get a
this
little
is gonna
more,
get-
dig for some gravel.
I know, like Jigoku's a little deeper. He's a little more like he's 20% towards Van Zeek's a little bit from Strongheart, but it's still gonna be difficult to distinguish them at a moment's notice.
Yeah. I believe in you.
I better get like several voice acting jobs after this. I gotta I'm getting good training out of this. I've voiced like one thing. I should voice a second thing now.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta be my agent,
Please sign exception up for these
please.
opportunities. We'll get you a demo reel, and we'll get you an agent, and we'll get you the famous.
Yeah.
He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. It's face slap. Come on, Ryunosuke. It's time for that steely resolve, because this is going to test it to the limit. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court.
Ah. So it was you who issued this, was it?
Get over yourself. Your subpoena? I did what was necessary.
Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you'd take that tone with me, I must say. The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked.
No property destruction this time.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan.
16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Oh, it was a great honor to be involved in the negotiations. I put my all into that treaty.
Judge Jigoku, I must ask.
Well, I never. Fancy the young murdering student turning up here of all places.
Wow, rude. You acquitted me yourself. And now I'm a practicing defense lawyer.
Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see.
Damn. You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France.
Took flight? I'd have to object to that turn of phrase.
Okay. Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances?
Well, I was somewhat expecting this, and I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment.
Ah! Fuck. This man. This man. What?
Leaving the country prematurely when I was an invited guest may be questionable etiquette,
I will not elaborate, correct.
but my decision is unrelated to this case. I can't be bound to testify. Unrelated, you say?
Oh, he mad! He big mad! Cosma, what do you know?
I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I'd obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him.
Okay. That can't be true.
As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that.
Not buying it. So you would run from all this?
I beg your pardon.
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now. A year ago in Japan. The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson, you mean? That's right. And you, Judge Shigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it. Don't make me present evidence already. I can't. Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes that you're resolved to carry this through to the very end, too. Ah! It's fine. Let's see your evidence, then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case? Easy. Examine. Just. Yep. Yep. Examine. Right there. That's right. This can't possibly be anything else. Present. Well, there's also this. Hold on.
I get what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
However, comma,
I was right the first time.
the preamble about the case a year ago means that they're going for the vibe answer of the telegram. You were right.
The telegram. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You got it. You got the instincts. You're
this.
fighting.
I got this. This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. Ooh, get over yourself.
You little...
Investigator?
Where did you get that?
Hosanaga, a real one.
Heck yeah, he is.
In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku.
What? How on earth did you...
What's this all about? Why is my name on that list? This is a list. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Let me try again. This list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the names of assassins. No. Is this me? Okay, I'm assuming this is me.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. It's me one way or the other. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett. But her real name was Asa Shin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain. A. Shin and her victim, J. Wilson. And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime. An assassin sent from Japan, Also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector, Tobias Gregson. K. Asogi and T. Gregson. One assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other. Strongheart is about to, his head's gonna pop off his neck.
What exactly is the defense suggesting?
Cover-ups. These two cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. And the telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill. What? I really want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong. Anyway.
About what specifically?
I don't want Kazuma to be this, deep in things. I want there to be some kind of a grave misunderstanding here. But, yeah. Anyway. The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you. Oh, he mad too. We like making him mad. Judge Jigoku? What's this all about? Speak up, bro. And you, Kazuma, you lied. Did you? During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you'd accepted the assassination mission. But the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard, as shown by the name on the killing contract. Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie. Okay, this is promising. The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. Oh, really? The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you. Ouch. Ugh. You deliberately avoided saying a name.
The defense claims these 4 names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange. I'm sure I speak for all present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd.
Man said, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's a little flabbergasted.
His flabbers are gasted.
Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
Speak up, buddy. Don't even play. His silence only goes to prove his guilt. There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse. Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse would put you in contempt of court. I don't think he cares.
There's no need for quite such a vicious stare, young man. Very well then. As a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything I know.
Oh, really?
It seems this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear.
Ah! It's fine, I'll just go scream.
About the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now. As you wish, my lord.
This is fun because now that Jigoku's here, everyone's like dogpiling them, and you're on everyone's side.
Yeah, everyone is wrong. Everyone is right and everyone is wrong. All right.
Yeah.
The assassin exchange. Here we go.
You were even siding with Strongheart a little bit
A
there.
little bit.
You're starting to see it.
It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour.
That's fucked up. You can
You want to
study in
study?
Japan under one condition. You gotta kill a man.
Welcome to Assassin School.
Right?
Welcome to Assassination Classroom.
The real one.
The real one.
The real one.
However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission.
Okay.
On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. If there'd been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved.
So you admit it then, as this communication suggests. There really was an assassin exchange agreement between Britain and Japan.
A political endeavor at the highest levels, not something I can discuss here.
I swear to God. To use such a worthy practice as foreign study to coerce somebody to commit murder. It's the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling? Well, it's easy to judge. It's how I got my job.
Apparently. We're in the wrong profession, exception. It's fairly easy to judge.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Good benefits.
Yeah. Assassin exchanges? Those are exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll get to talk to a lot of people.
Pardon?
Asogi had a reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know.
What?
Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Counsel?
I hate that. Ah! It's fine. Kazuma-sama. Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
I'm not obliged to divulge that information.
Ah, okay. That means it's somebody in this room. As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassin exchange that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case. Is it? Is it?
The crucial point is this. Your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it.
That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London, in the room on Fresno Street. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Barak van Zeeks. The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged.
To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian dealings. Clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge such as the witness could hope to execute. Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on the British side who controlled everything. Be that as it may, it is not the place of this court to pursue this villainous assassination... to pursue this villainous assassin exchange plot.
Yes, it is.
We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson.
You said you wanted the whole truth! So shut up!
Is the defense clear on that point, counsel?
No. No. Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. Are we gonna get in trouble for pressing on something that we shouldn't? Oh, no.
No, I think you'll get in trouble for trying to, like, divert to contradict stuff about the exchange. We're here for... I think that was the way of the game saying, hey, focus in on the moment. It's time for mechanical contradictions now, not like crazy overarching lore.
Alright. Let's press I. Okay.
Hold it!
A year ago, when Kazuma was still in Japan then.
Correct. It was at the examination center for applicants for the study tour that I approached him.
Aw, man! I don't like that implication. I'll never forget it. I remember exactly what you said. You just came out and asked me forthright if I'd consider traveling to Britain on an assassination mission.
Really?
Surely not! I thought it was a joke at first, of course. But then, it was made clear to me that if I didn't accept, I wouldn't be considered for the study tour. That was the implication I didn't like. So you agreed to it just for that? I mean, I know how much you wanted to study in England, but assassination?
The Empire of Japan had accepted a proposal from the British Empire at the time. An agreement to send a student from each country to the others to deepen cultural understanding and friendship.
That's not how you deepen cultural understanding and friendship. Murder is
Here,
not how you do that.
Murder, and you can teach us how you murder.
Right?
But behind the scenes, the chosen students were to be given assassination missions. I had no choice but to accept the proposal that originated from my British counterpart.
Why? Why didn't you expose the plot there and then?
Britain acknowledges no part in these alleged misbegotten dealings.
Damn.
I advise you not to make spurious allegations, Foreign Minister Jigoku. As a witness, I am bound to tell the truth, my lord. Anyway, I picked Asogi and explained the details of the plan to him.
Hold it!
I hate this. Why Kazuma? Why did you pick him as the assassin?
He was the most capable of all the applicants, and in addition, I knew his desire to travel to Britain was very strong.
That's fucked up. You used him. I hate you.
In fact, it was almost more than a desire. It was his whole purpose in life.
Yes, as his best friend, I can certainly attest to that. The way he threw himself into his studies. The way he pursued becoming qualified as a lawyer. was all ultimately for that one single goal of being accepted on a study tour to Britain. And of course, we know the reason behind that. He was determined to find out for himself the truth about his father, Genshin Asogi. There's nothing I wouldn't have done to get here. Be that agreeing to assume the role of an assassin or betraying people's trust. Ouch! Ah, that hurts. Be a lie, please.
Well, you certainly did a fine job of betraying mine, Asogi.
Oh, that was a dig at him.
But why was Inspector Gregson the target?
I have no idea. Those were the orders from Britain. I was in no position to question them.
You have no idea? Really? I find that hard to believe.
Oh, do you?
Judge Jigoku was once a visiting student here in Britain himself, of course. Perhaps he has some connection with Inspector Gregson from that time.
The defense really ought to catch up.
With what?
With the fact that the assassin exchange has absolutely nothing to do with the case under scrutiny here. Yes, I've already admitted to recruiting Asogi.
Okay.
Hold it!
I presume you're referring to the incident that occurred during Kazuma's passage to Britain in January. God. The awful tragedy that took place on the steamship.
Word arrived at the ministry some 2 weeks after the ship's departure from our shores. The visiting student had been killed, but his body had somehow gone missing in Hong Kong. The news was wired to me from a detective I'd placed on the ship to accompany the assassin.
Obviously, Kazuma didn't actually die at all. But he did lose his memory, including all details about his special mission.
Hosonaga mentioned also.
Hosonaga
May have
mentioned.
noticed. He was there.
He
We
was
saw
there.
him.
We did. He made a comeback.
Did you not consider dispatching another assassin at that point? That wasn't possible, simply because that black-clad young student over there had already put himself forward as Asogi's replacement.
Oh boy.
And there was no way to stop him from reaching Britain.
Sholmes did that. That was Sholmes.
He did. He
Yep,
did.
He did. Ah.
My hands were completely tied.
So Mr. Sholmes' strategy worked perfectly. He predicted everything that would happen. Months later, my memory returned. But I never intended to go through with the assassination mission anyway.
So you were playing me right from the outset, were you? Is that it?
I mean, if he's in Britain, you can't really get a hold of him to get mad at him.
That is
so
true. That is true.
Maybe he could ask for asylum. I'd sooner be guilty of that crime than of taking someone else's life. All right. Okay. Good.
Integrity's back on the
Integrity's
menu.
back on the menu. Yeah. I was prepared to do whatever I had to in order to get myself here to Britain.
This line of questioning has gone on long enough.
Fine.
I'm not here to watch your family dramas. All
Why
the
not?
court should be concerned about is the testimony given by the witness. are details relating to his relationship with Inspector Gregson and the victim's murder. In that case, as I've already made perfectly clear, I had no connection to the man or his death. And you have some means of substantiating this plea.
Okay. Hold it! Can we get that crew member here? Is a crew member in the room with us right now?
It's probably chicken.
It is chicken. It's gotta be chicken. Outside your cabin in the first class area of the SS Grouse, you mean?
Yes, that's right. Not least because there was a murder of a student passenger earlier in the year, I imagine. The liner operations have taken to posting a crewman outside every first-class cabin door.
I can confirm the presence of the crewman guard myself.
Was it chicken?
Chicken. What do you mean? Because I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk that night. I witnessed it with my own eyes. There was a well-built crew. Yeah, it was chicken. There was a well-built.
There's a well-built chicken.
Well-built chicken. There was a well-built crewman standing guard directly in front of the door to the witness's cabin.
At that particular time, of course, I'd gone to the ship's dining room for dinner.
The inspector and I asked the crewman to allow us into the cabin while we waited for Judge Jigoku's return. I suppose Inspector Gregson was there in his capacity as the Reaper. He was intending to take the witness's life. Exactly. As I've said numerous times now, I had no intention of killing anyone. So the crewman let two potential assassins into the cabin he was supposed to be guarding? Not the most convincing of sentries, really.
Renosuke not a fan of chicken.
Not a fan of chicken. In truth, those were my thoughts too. But anyway, I stayed to talk with Inspector Gregson for a short while. And then I left him there and made my way off the ship alone. Now you don't have an alibi. Damn. You didn't have an alibi to begin with, but now you really don't have one. Was the guard still at the door when you went? Yes. He glared at me as I walked past.
You see, that proves it.
Does it? But we saw a bullet hole in the wall. Okay. The crewman who was standing directly outside your cabin door, you mean?
That's right. A muscular man with a permanent grim expression on his face. He didn't once move from that spot. To be honest, I thought he was a miserable fellow.
Nobody's a fan of chicken.
Nobody likes chicken!
But as it happens, he's a vital witness now.
There's no doubt that Gregson was killed by a gunshot. And it's inconceivable that a crewman standing just outside the cabin door wouldn't have heard that. But wait, what about the ship's enormous steam engines? The noise of them could have drowned out the sound of the gun being fired.
Sadly, young judicial assistants, that won't wash.
Oh!
You will recall that my cabin was in the first class area of the ship, which is also, of course, the quietest. Don't imagine for a moment that it's anything like steerage where the judicial assistants go.
Damn. My dude's a hater. I didn't mean. But a hole like that made by a bullet was found in your cabin, Judge Shigoku. That's compelling evidence that a gun was fired in there. What's that? A bullet hole.
Oh, yes. You're talking about what the detective uncovered in the wall yesterday, I presume. That was obviously a rotten panel eaten up by woodworm. No doubt he didn't find an actual bullet.
Ugh. That's the hole in this argument.
Sadly, I was unable to arrange for the crewman to be brought back to Britain with me. But obviously, if a gun had been fired in my cabin on the night in question, as the defense implies, I would have been arrested on the spot and would never have made it to Britain in the first place.
That's true. It would have been tried in France.
Well, that's true.
Very true. The witness's logic is sound. Our courts have no jurisdiction in France since we hate them so much. Since no gunshot was heard from the witness's cabin on the night in question, we must assume that the witness is telling the truth. I'm glad you've seen sense, my lord.
Okay. I know Kazuma's already admitted to taking on this incredible assassination plot, but even so, hearing it confirmed by somebody else is still a real shock. It's unforgivable. Using Kazuma-sama's feelings to manipulate him into agreeing to such a despicable plan. But I think Kazuma manipulated Judge Jigoku too. He completely double-crossed him. Oh dear. It's hard not to see that as a stroke of brilliance on Kazuma-sama's part. One way or another, though, Gregson ended up dead. I really think that the murder must have happened aboard that steamship. So you mean Judge Jigoku must be lying? I know I shouldn't let my emotions cloud my judgment. But you must destroy him, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's go. All right. Let's look at the evidence.
Time to go to war.
What have we got? The small component, which is the top of the pocket watch. Have we examined this yet?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
where we learned about the crown.
The
What's
crown.
called.
Yeah. Okay. A notice about a practice evacuation. Hello. That's right. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk. Aha! So he had
Oh.
20 minutes where this guy wasn't at his door. I
He
think
could have
we've...
stolen the steak or whatever it was, the rib from the escapade.
All right, I think that's our...
We got our weapon.
We got our weapon. Except for this. Present this business. Objection. Yes, as the court has heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Shigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that, contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times. What? I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st.
Where did you get that?
Quit leaving shit lying around! You're terrible at this! It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember.
Sherlock Sholmes again.
Yeah, get over it. According to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m., and for a period of 20 minutes. All crewmen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill. All crewmen were away from their posts. And during that 20-minute... I can't talk. And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one. Oh, did we get you? In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
I like to think that he's like slightly bitter and he's like, well,
Darn, you have a good point.
Yep.
Ah,
Come on.
Objection.
Objection? Okay. A 20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent find, Ryunosuke. But it amounts to nothing. Why? Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in his cabin. Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false. Your accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
very true. Well, counsel?
We have the top of the pocket watch! Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Shigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has the evidence to prove it.
You will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel. What proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Jigoku's cabin on the 31st of October?
You know what? I've been thinking about that gun, and I'm thinking about this too. But I think the crown is what they're looking for, right? Am I on the right track?
if we're talking about the cabin, then yeah, the crown is what was found in the
Crown
cabin.
is what was found in the cabin, yeah. So let's try this. Take that. Okay. Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday.
What is that? A crown of a pocket watch?
Clock nerd Strongheart immediately detects what it is from a mile away.
A pocket watch?
Jigoku had no idea he's not a clock nerd.
And if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know he treasured, is missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
It
Who would
can and it
desecrate
is.
a clock like this?
Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. In other words, the victim was killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill. In the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku.
Well, you're rather sharp, aren't you, you young murderer?
Quit calling me that! I'm not the murderer here, you are!
Objection.
Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke. And your argument sounds entirely plausible. At first. Cosma, if you don't quit. Quit it. Stop it. But rather like this pocket watch. It's full of cracks. What? We say what a lot. And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way.
I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year.
Sorry.
If I'd known that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world your ridiculous bombast.
Damn, that's rude as hell.
You are so getting fired.
I think it's clear that you are so getting fired back in your home country that the witness will have to give further testimony.
God.
When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled. And you'll be fired too. Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume. Yes, I do. Very well, then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony.
Again.
About what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st October.
Well, you see, Your Honor, we were having a Halloween party. It was fancy dress.
Of course. As a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice.
I don't believe you, but okay.
The inspector was fired too.
With a gun.
With a gun.
With a gun.
I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seoi throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London. Ippon Seoi. A common jujitsu martial arts technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take.
So, Yunosuke Naruhodo? I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you? What? We say that all the time. We're just like, what is wrong with you people? The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there.
I mean, there are only so many ways you can translate E question
Hard.
mark from Japanese.
Yeah.
It's either that or like, huh, and different game series pick different options.
Yeah, of course.
It's just how it goes. Also, I'm looking up the Ippon Seoi throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat. It seems like the one where you like spit, like you got your back to the person, they got their arm over you, or you put yourself under their arm, and you grab like their arm shoulder and just like flip them over your body like a pancake.
Ah, dang. Flop.
Neat. Yeah, just flap them over. Cool stuff.
I've no doubt the inspector intended to kill me. But he didn't manage to pull the trigger.
Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's hand of death.
Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell. Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord. It's a relief to me that you are so smart and clever and handsome.
Wow, gay. But if this testimony holds, Judge Chigoku will be deemed to have had no involvement in the case.
Jigoku, being a judge, probably knows what like the judges like to hear.
Yep.
He's got like good experience getting on their good sides.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination.
I'm gonna have to prove something. I hate this. I'm gonna have to prove something. Sorry, my lord. The defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that.
You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, not knowing is like half the battle. That's not how that expression goes.
Nope.
Well, if knowing is half the battle, then not knowing has
Has to be the other half. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, it makes complete sense now.
You're not wrong.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo.
Okay. Because the so-called guard posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean?
Apparently, Gregson told the crewmen he was a police inspector, which was the truth, of course.
That's my thought as well. He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though.
He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. I imagine the crewman was convinced.
Wow.
The uniform.
Wow. But the man accompanying him would have had 2 swords slung around his waist. You mean me? Who else?
Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set off alarm bells in the god's head.
The point is, I left the cabin before its occupant returned, and I immediately disembarked the ship.
Certainly. All I can tell you is that only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin.
You don't have an alibi either.
And you entered without any inkling of suspicion. That's right. None whatsoever.
Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson.
Out of curiosity, just ambiently out there, how the heck did society, did the English language properly and successfully construct the word mustachioed? Like, how did it come about? How, I say this as a gratitude type of way. Like, how did they pull it off?
It's a good word. It's a good word.
It's a great word.
It's a good word.
Yes, though at the time I didn't know the man's name. There was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners.
I mean, it's kind of rude to be a corpse, so.
Sure. By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose.
That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in all my life. Anyone would think the man had never shot somebody before.
Believe it or not, most of us haven't.
There was no time to call for the help of the crewman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself.
Hold it! Even though the man had a gun? That was a very brave move, wasn't it?
My Iponseo is far faster than a bullet, I can assure you.
Stuff just doesn't add up. But surely, all that commotion caused the crewman to come in, didn't it?
Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape.
The outstanding guard does it again.
Luckily, there aren't many situations I can't get out of using a quick Iponseo throw.
Hold it! The crown snapped off, and the glass covering the face of the watch was cracked.
Preferable to the man's head being pulled off of it, or his spine cracking, wouldn't you say? His head being pulled off of it.
Not that the man was spared for long. A bullet to the chest soon saw to that. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that a murder took place.
Absolutely not. All the watch proves is the power of my jujutsu throw.
Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in that cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall.
What are you talking about? That's what the star of your lowbrow detective story told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction.
Okay.
Haven't you worked it out yet, you little stripling? No murder took place in my cabin.
Hold it! But there's no evidence that proves the victim ever returned to London alive.
Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, stripling.
Why are you so rude? What?
If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have got back to Britain? When people die, their bodies remain at that same spot. It's a devil of a thing.
Oh my god, this guy's a jerk.
Man, it's like
Well.
really inexpensive.
Well, then,
Sorry.
obviously the culprit must have moved the body.
How exactly?
Teleportation, bitch.
Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think?
Well, yes, that's true, but
All passenger luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think the border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage.
if the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain. Ugh, that's killed that idea then. But perhaps not. Miss Susato? We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them, which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea. Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative.
Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you?
This guy is such a jerk.
I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain it in words you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony, with your consent, of course, my lord. I have no objection. State your amended testimony now. There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
Okay, we're gonna press that anyway. There's an idea.
Think about it, stripling. All passengers and crew disembarked at the same time and passed through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the ministry.
And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel.
So you did. Well then, remind me, did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time?
What? No!
So we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. Unless, of course, they've developed some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B.
I hate you.
Wait a minute.
I hate you.
They did do that, didn't they?
They did do that.
Get case 3 back in the room.
Smack. Funny you should say that. Professor Hairbrain's invention didn't actually work, if you remember, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, of course.
The defense has become unusually quiet, I notice. Yes, because there's really nothing more to say.
No, we gotta do this. So that's his story. Well, I suppose if you think about it, whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, we don't say, Mr. Naruhodo must have been murdered there, do we? Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one? Lord. And the fact is that Inspector Gregson's body was found in the little room on Fresno Street. If he really was killed in Judge Chigoku's cabin, the body would have to have been moved somehow, obviously. Transporting a dead body over a country border, that would be impossible for the majority of people. So there must have been some special circumstances that made it possible for the culprit then. That could be a vital realization, I think, Mr. Naruhodo. Evidence! Alright. Let's look at our evidence. What do we got? Let's go from the back. The telegram. Evacuation drill. Sword. He did have a big chest with him. That's kind of conspicuous. His body appears to be tightly curled up. Oh, this is new information. Hold up. So we should be looking for a serial number. There's nothing like that on this gun. So it's an older gun. Okay, good to know. Which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that. Okay. That's all we get out of this. This has to be the photo, right? With the trunk. Am I getting ahead of myself?
No.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
Well, there is a nuance to this. I want you to sort of
Okay.
like crunch on.
Okay.
Strongheart earlier was like all luggage is inspected when people disembark, and they would expect a corpse to be identified.
Mm-hmm.
However, Jigoku is special for this regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be a normal argument for everyone else, but Jigoku's Jigoku. He's too important. He gets privileges. And that's why, actually, it is making sense, and you are correct.
Okay.
They'll explain it.
I love this. I have a love-hate relationship with this trial.
What's the hate part?
It hurts.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say. I would say the opposite is true.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Far from being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do. By the way, I know you pointed that out, but I was thinking it in my head earlier when Strongheart said something about special circumstances. I mean, Yunosuke said something about special circumstances. I was like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got all the gears. Just gotta mesh them.
Yeah. I'm 2
gearing.
steps ahead.
We're gearing up.
We are. What are you talking about, Ryunosuke? As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country.
Hmm.
We learned that when we first met you upon your arrival in London.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time.
I forgot about this conversation! Okay.
I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous.
I presume you recall this, Judge Jigoku. It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside. Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting... I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel. The body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us, inside Judge Shigoku's trunk.
That's upsetting.
It is upsetting.
Order in court! I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
Well, I can say from experience that it worked. It could. Because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jigoku? There are 5 people in the photo. But inside his trunk! How horrifying! And after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street, taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body.
I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
You're a hater, go away. Dr. Gori, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body's decomposition could have been delayed by storing it in a refrigerator.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between.
Not on a boat! Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Get with it, Strongheart. Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages. And the SS Grouse is no exception. Hey! Professor Mikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Shigoku. Stay mad. Stay mad. However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer.
Well, this is all very heartening.
Is it? Is it?
I can see that it was a wise move, letting Asogi and you embark on this study tour.
What, is this your villain speech, bitch? Come on. What are you talking about now?
Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid firm foundations for that already.
Then why are you lying? God! Infuriating. Judge Jigoku, please stop diverting attention from the issue at hand. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond?
Respond? There's really no need for me to respond, is there?
Your evil, go away. Why ever not?
Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical.
The actual scene of the crime. The prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Barak Van Zeeks, shot the victim at point-blank range.
Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale.
Ah!
I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling.
Come on, Ryunosuke. The victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly. I'm afraid it's the prosecution's claim that's the only fairy tale here. How can you say that? Quite simply, because the claim directly contradicts, oh god damn it, a certain piece of evidence in our possession. Get wrecked.
Very tantalizing, counsel. I think you had better explain yourself to the court, don't you?
The prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene on Fresno Street. But this evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Okay.
So,
I feel like this is it, but I don't know why, so I'm...
I think you've already said why.
Because he's curled up in a ball.
That was like a completely irrelevant detail until we just established he was in a box.
Yeah.
Or at least are claiming he was in a box.
Alright, I will present this. Here we go.
Good luck.
luck had nothing to do with it. A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed.
Oh, strong heart. How naive. How optimistic of you. Yes, but the point is the posture of the body itself. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like that.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. He could easily have adopted that fetal position due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal.
Objection.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jigoku, but it's your logic that is flawed.
What?
Get over yourself. According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less have been able to draw himself into that position.
Ah.
Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. Though the answer should be abundantly clear by now.
You're suggesting...
I am not suggesting anything! I am saying what I've been saying for the past 10 minutes!
You're very explicitly declaring...
The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival on Fresno Street. Before it was coldly turned out on the floor. From the inside of a large travel trunk. No! You're quite right! The shape of the body! It looks exactly as if it had been kept in a confined space! Judge Jigoku, present your trunk for examination. I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood.
Ah! Present my trunk. I refuse.
What? On what grounds?
I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan. I shouldn't have to put up with this treatment just because of some stripling's baseless accusations.
In other
He's
words, Judge Jigoku,
He's reaching.
there is blood in your trunk.
I decline to answer that. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I have privileges that allow me to...
At this moment, you're not a government minister. You're a witness in a trial in Britain's highest court. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this courtroom might be. You will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than the truth. I love this man.
Order! Order in court! Well, Mr. Jigoku, what's it to be?
You can't be serious. You did it?
Have you no shame at all, Kazuma Asogi?
Not right now, no! What?
Very well. I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body to the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense.
Then why be...
Dear God! Outrageous!
That wasn't even his voice. I just thought it was funny.
outrageous.
Outrageous!
So it was you! Ugh.
No! I admit to nothing more than what I've said. Of killing the man, I certainly have no recollection.
That's a lie!
What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean?
Oh my god.
You're lucky I'm the judge, otherwise I would be very angry at you. I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin. In order to avoid unwanted attention. As the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So, I decided my only option was to bring it into Britain with me and dispose of it somewhere else.
You can't still deny it. If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man?
As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he'd already accepted a mission to take the inspector's life.
Oh.
That's right. Who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Asogi.
Don't take other people down with you. You. I never thought you'd stoop to this, Seishiro Jigoku.
You've taken the words straight out of my mouth, Prosecutor Kazuma Asogi. You thought by leaving the body in my cabin you could pin the crime on me, did you?
This is rapidly devolving into like an Among Us argument.
Yeah, it is. Just pointing fingers and screaming, yeah.
Well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question. Yes, on an assassination mission, no less.
That you put him on, you piece of work. You wouldn't.
So, what do you make of that, young stripling? You've heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I'll admit to nothing more.
I don't believe this.
Counsel for the defense. What is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness's assertion. The assertion that on the night in question, the victim's assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asogi.
This isn't the dead end it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. It comes down to Jigoku or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku.
Are we voting out?
The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by Prosecutor Asogi is... Alright, let's look at the court record.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. So, we have two potential murder weapons. We have this one. The revolver that was technically found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. It's probably the bullet that shot Gregson. And it is old. It was issued more than 5 or 6 years ago. So, and it's issued to members of the judiciary, allegedly. So, this points to either we don't know who it is or it's Jigoku, right? Like, who else could have done it? But then we have a complication, which is this piece of evidence right here. That has the piece of the katana embedded in it and blood on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna open it. Thank you.
Open.
It's open. Oh, we can look at this again. Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather, into the metal behind. Gosh. I wonder how it happened. Interesting. What's this? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And lastly, the blood. Look at this dark stain here, do you think? Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood. Okay. I'm thinking. All right. So, while this, okay, hear me out. This looks like it points to Kazuma, right? But he wouldn't normally be so sloppy, right? With his fighting. With his swordsmanship.
There's also a very, very clear case against Kazuma in that the autopsy report mentions no cuts.
Yeah. But that's because he just cut the
That's true.
the trunk, and then he magically shot him. No, but which piece of evidence do they want? That's the real question. Well, they're not asking for a piece of evidence right now. They're just asking if it's possible that Kazuma did it, and I don't think it's possible. I think it's impossible.
Fair.
Am I right?
I think you're right.
Okay. Okay. Judge Jigoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few minutes ago. You claimed that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process.
It is, no question.
Then get wrecked, son. Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Asogi to commit the crime.
Yeah, the music.
The good music.
What?
Kazuma knows we got his back.
The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So present what you have, counsel. What proof is there that allegedly demonstrates the impossibility of Prosecutor Asogi's involvement?
I think the autopsy report
Now
is
we got
actually
an
the
answer.
answer here, because it's the one that says that he was shot and not stabbed.
No, you kind of argued yourself out of that just now when you were like, you could have had a knife and a sword and a gun at the same time.
Okay.
He's got two hands.
He's got two hands. Okay. Then the logical things are the gun and the trunk and Karuma, which we haven't looked at again yet. But I highly doubt there's anything new.
That's just karma.
Yeah, we've already looked at it.
Okay, let's like solidify our understanding of the timeline here. Because if Jigoku is admitting to things, then we can add that to the list of things that we know happened.
Mm-hmm.
Jigoku admits that Gregson's body was in the room.
Mm-hmm.
We also know from the autopsy that he was shot.
And there's a bullet hole in the room.
So way back, when he was arguing that
There was no opportunity for a gun to be gunned.
there not only was there an opportunity, we now know it happened.
Okay, but what?
And that was a whole matter of timing. You check so like logically there would have been a gunshot, and because a gunshot wasn't heard, it means it must have happened during the evacuation drill.
Right.
Can we look at the evacuation drill?
$10 p.m., 20 minutes. And Kazuma said he was gone by then.
They would have been off the boat before a gunshot.
Yeah. So is this what we need to present? I'm just lost on which piece of evidence they want, because I think there's a couple of different things that kind of like point towards it for different reasons. This is the only one with a timestamp though.
It's the only one that makes it like impossible, I think.
Okay.
Because with everything
I'll go
else, you
with
could be
it.
like, well, maybe he had the sword and the gun, or
That's
like,
true.
and
Or we
it's
don't know where it came
impossible.
from, or we don't know what happened. Yeah. Okay.
He wasn't even in the country anymore, because the country was the ocean.
Take that!
This itinerary for crew members of the SS Grouse, my lord. This is conclusive proof.
An itinerary. How does that prove anything?
Judge Jigoku, the moment you acknowledge that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant.
What? Why?
Because I said so, that's why. On the night in question, as always, a crewman's sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin. Absolutely, because it's inconceivable that the guard wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate. So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere, i.e. at 10 p.m. And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes just after 10 o'clock, as indicated on the itinerary.
Yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far.
But the crucial point is this. When the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already put to sea from the port of Dunkirk. Ah, okay. I get it.
Ugh.
Now, clearly the murder could only have been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. But Prosecutor Asogi stated in yesterday's proceedings, I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Kazuma Asogi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing. Get wrecked. Hold it? Okay. Oh, you're just mad again.
No, absolutely not. I don't accept that at all.
What do you mean?
The boy's just saying that to exonerate himself. We can't trust that he really disembarked the vessel.
He might whip out the thing saying he stayed somewhere.
Obviously, after he left my cabin, he hid himself somewhere nearby on the ship. Just waiting for his chance to come back and finish the...
No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma? As the defense rightly recalls, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in a boarding house in Dunkirk. And, as I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodations register book. All extremely easy to verify and undeniable proof.
No,
There's no escape this time. You can forget that you're a judge or a government minister. It's time you gave the court an honest answer as a common man. We love the villain breakdowns.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go. Get wrecked. You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. Then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if the murder had happened there. That's what really happened, isn't it? Seishiro Jigoku. Wow, right at the ad break. That's crazy.
Yeah. Nice timing.
I need a drink.
Then drink.
Yum. As we sit in silence because the music stopped. Yeah. I know, do we keep going? Ryunosuke's just blinking at me.
Yeah.
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 In silence, he blink.
Keep blinking.
All right, we're going.
Yep.
We're going on. We're going
All
on.
right.
All right, here we go.
Let's see this. It's time.
Here we go. It's time for
I gotta
the
be loud now.
great breakdown.
The great broken courtroom.
it was that damn trial 10 years ago. That's when all this began.
Oh.
Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already.
Okay. Did he just go Super Saiyan?
It's over. My life is over.
Jeez. Jeez.
A British assassination to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade conviction and return safely to their homelands. The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand.
And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Asogi. But things didn't go... Oh, wait, that's you. No, it's me.
No.
That's me.
Yeah.
But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain.
It's fun that it took 8 words for us to figure out which one of us.
Right? And you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement. Because I was already on my way to Britain at that time, in Kazuma's place.
And that left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation. To eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that.
The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume.
That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain. So I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. And made arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper.
What? The Reaper? But there's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself. Ah. So, that means that the assassin exchange was... It was all planned by the Reaper.
I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. But it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death.
Oh, how awful.
It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness.
Huh. Okay.
But there was a guard just outside the door, so I left it at that for the time being.
That isn't in the autopsy report, but okay.
Well, he didn't die from suffocation, so he was still alive and breathing.
Well, but he would have been bruised. Probably.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion, so I bided my time waiting.
For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock.
I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came round and went for me in a reckless move. I'd received the British-issued gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student.
I was right!
I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like that. So the revolver belongs to you, does it?
Then the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse. Which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street.
The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There was no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the side. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room.
And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police. How did they not notice a body in the freezer? Like, it's fine.
Got a lot of corpses in there.
I guess so.
I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced when their body was found in London.
In that case, you must have known. You must have had intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule.
Yes, my British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon. In order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from whom he would take back his police identification.
Ah.
I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as the culprit. So I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk.
That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then.
Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcoming committee. I was more than a little nervous. On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling little firecrackers.
Miss Venus, of course.
I conceived of the candle trick there and then. So I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot.
What sort of disguise?
For some reason, the inspector had a bright red hairpiece in his own traveling case. So I put that on, although I suspect I drew more attention to myself in that than I would have otherwise.
The hairpiece we found at the scene. The inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation.
I only arrived at the room at around 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved the notice board, and set up my little candle trick. I arranged it so the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later. So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap? Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder.
What was that? I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips. Ah!
I didn't notice that it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration room. I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but... well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish.
Ew, it smells like fish in there.
Anyway, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did.
Wow, so he wasn't even trying to implicate Van Zieks.
Yeah, he
Trying to
wasn't.
implicate- He was trying to hit Vigil.
Yeah.
I've heard enough. We've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors.
Who just also happened to be an assassin. That's fine.
Who just also happened to be an assassin. The witness will be tried in the coming days.
Diplomatic immunity.
For a crime of such a vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty.
An exchange of assassins. What a foolhardy idea. Mr. Jigoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassin exchange? You got nothing to lose. You could just say it now. Exactly. Nothing you say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us.
Enough!
Okay. Calm down.
I've already told you that I cannot say.
You could, if you wanted to. Even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again.
What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it.
If the courtroom blows up, I'm quitting.
I'm finished. Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the findings of this court. This man before us has admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson. Seishiro Jigoku, it is the opinion of this court that you should be found
Guilty.
And may I remind all those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court.
We did it.
We did it. Sort
We
of.
won.
Feels weird.
Moments ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession, admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
Kazuma's not happy.
Of course he is. He lost.
Oh, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, thank you. Is something wrong? I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey, and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion. I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries.
Oh!
As a prosecutor. As you wish. Now for the formal adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant, Barak Van Zeeks.
Oh. Yep. Saw that coming. Saw that coming! The prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred.
Counsel.
The accused's innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position. What? But Judge Jigoku has already confessed. Nevertheless, Barak Van Zeeks has committed crimes for which he must be punished.
Well, it would appear you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Asogi.
Tell us! Certainly. The murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jigoku. But it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into this sick, merciless assassin exchange. That may be true, but... So what I want to know is, who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings? The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself.
Well, certainly. That would appear to follow.
Okay, yeah, we're with you. The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Barak Van Zeeks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey. And furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. What?
Order! 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 The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery, Counsel. Are you suggesting you have some new information with which to build a case?
Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord Van Zeeks very thoroughly in that regard. And they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper. Perhaps, but circumstances have now changed. What do you mean? It's already been established that the Assassin Exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper himself. Which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here.
I must say I'm surprised. By quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name.
You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord Van Zeeks. And I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes. That explains Kazuma's silence before. He'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord Van Zeeks unwittingly started 10 years ago. Strongheart's had enough of this.
What?
Strongheart has had enough of this.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, fine, whatever. Just fucking...
Yeah, okay, sure. You know, it's fun being the judge. I get to sit in this tall chair. I'll
yeah.
keep doing it.
He's like, yeah, I'll put
It's
my feet
comfy.
up. Yeah.
It's like gold and green, which if you blend it together kind of is the color of my coat.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't know color theory that well. Very well. Whilst it's extremely irregular, I will on this occasion grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony. The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he has had with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange.
I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely.
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing.
You just made that up.
He's declaring it. That's making it up.
Yeah, he did. He just made it up.
He
We're
declared
back.
it.
We're back. We're so back.
Welcome back.
We're so back. Oh, he's so back.
Pray turn a blind eye to discourtesy as I verify that this vile and unremitting accusation soured the contents of my hallowed chalice.
Lord Van Zeeks.
I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time, I've endured the weight of implied guilt that's gone with it. So I welcome the chance to testify now and crush those allegations once and for all.
Good. Then let justice decide, Lord Van Zeeks. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as the primary witness, in order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey.
And what says the defense?
The defense would like a nap. Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. And Kazuma-sama is so emotional at the moment, he's not thinking logically. You're right that he's not himself. But I knew it would be like this. And I came here today determined to face him through whatever might arise. As a lawyer, and as his friend. Then that's what we must do. The defense has no objection, my lord.
Very well. Defendant, you will take the witness stand and give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange. You wish, my lord.
This is crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
This is
Yeah,
getting-
wild stuff's
It's getting
happening.
deep. Getting crazy.
Welcome to overtime.
It is overtime.
We've checkmated the enemy, but the pieces are still moving.
Yeah, right? Like, how did we get here? How did we get here?
Instantaneous kinesis.
Yeah, right? Oh my god, I'm so tired. But we gotta make this happen.
We gotta.
We gotta.
We gotta.
I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson.
Why are you bringing up Dr. Wilson?
Assassin exchange.
Ah, okay.
He was the other guy murdered.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the assassin exchange.
So you deny all accusations by the prosecution,
Pretty much.
both that you are the Reaper of the Bailey and that you masterminded the assassin exchange.
I acknowledge that the public at large believes me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy, which I alone am in a position to forswear.
Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yes? Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom? A desire to uncover the truth. Even if the truth proves your client to be guilty? From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later it will come out. So it's always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth. I want you to remember what you just said.
Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense, proceed to cross-examine the witness.
Ah, yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out.
Oh, it was dilatory. Oops.
The contradiction, you're convinced, lies somewhere within this man's testimony. Cross-examination! Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Hold it!
So you're not what the general public refer to as the infamous Reaper of the Bailey.
Lee,
Don't imagine for a moment that the court will be satisfied with a one-word answer on this.
I realize that.
If you're intending to comment on every sentence, this could take a while, Kazuma. Didn't you find it disturbing, though, that one by one, defendants who've been acquitted after your unsuccessful prosecution were killed?
Let me answer that question by posing another.
That is not how court works, but okay.
If, one by one, defendants who had been acquitted after your successful defense were killed, would you find that disturbing?
Disturbing. I couldn't possibly say how that would make me feel with a one-word answer like that.
Exactly.
Well, that told me...
But even though I'm not the Reaper, that doesn't mean I ignored all the hearsay.
Hold it!
You say for years. How long exactly?
Since the very first time the Reaper's influence was felt in this courtroom. 10 years ago now.
And your investigations led you somehow to Inspector Gregson, you're saying?
I didn't want to believe it. He was a personal acquaintance. We'd worked on cases together in the past.
A friend, even.
It felt like a betrayal, but I demanded permission to search his office at the yard without his knowledge.
Which is when you found his secret notebook, is it?
It's when I first learned of the location he'd noted only as Grouse, and the appointment at 5 p.m. on the 31st. Though I didn't know the significance of those details at the time.
So now we're at the nub of the matter.
As it turns out, the significance for me personally was very unfortunate.
Okay.
Hold it!
But why did you go to that specific location?
Thought that if it was the Reaper's headquarters, then by turning up there at 5 o'clock, I would catch whoever was involved red-handed. Sadly, all that was awaiting me was the inspector's corpse.
Yes. Even though it wasn't designed for you, you walked straight into the trap set by Jigoku.
Exactly. Jigoku had intended to implicate Hugh Boone. But unhappily for me, I arrived at the scene first.
Ha! A ridiculously careless blunder. Moved on to just throwing insults around. I see then, Kazuma.
Think what you will. It doesn't change the truth.
That's not true either.
Hold it!
There is a link between you and Gregson, though.
Of course, we were close acquaintances. We'd worked on numerous cases together. I considered the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons.
He did? Such as what? Uh-oh.
Where to buy good fish and chips, and such like.
That's kind of cute.
They solve the case, they go out, get some fish and chips together.
That's cute. Well, that was convincing.
Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. And in any case, I understand it was several years ago now that he was invited to work at a Japanese university.
That's right. He was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo.
It should be unambiguously clear then that no link exists between myself and him. In other words, I had no motive for sending some assassin across the ocean to kill the man.
It sounds plausible enough, and I want to believe it. But something about this just doesn't quite sit right with me.
Hold it!
Certainly, as it stands, there's no evidence to suggest that you concocted the scheme.
Objection!
But as it stands, we have only the accused's insistence of his innocence. Sorry? Perhaps there is some reason that would explain why he masterminded the assassin exchange. And if a reason could be established later in these proceedings, then the accused's claim in this testimony that he wasn't involved would amount to perjury. Well, yes, that's true, but clearly Kazuma-sama intends to identify a reason and use it to make his case. So if we don't identify something first, he'll gain the advantage. This could be dangerous. Kazuma's just speaking dots at you. A convincing testimony by Lord Van Zeeks. Certainly, with no apparent connection between the three men, there's no way to establish a motive. The testimony seems unassailable, as far as I can see. But I disagree with that, because I already said that. Oh dear me, what a bleak expression. I agree, there doesn't appear to be any particular link between them, at first glance. But with the inclusion of one other person, I must be overthinking it, surely. Another person, Mr. Naruhodo. I need to think back over all the information we've gleaned so far. Alright, and I'll review my notes about the case and all the evidence in the court record. Go look at the court record, it says. Could it be that Lord Van Zeeks has something to hide after all? Alright, so the statement we didn't like was this one. So what's the evidence? Alright.
The hard part here is Wilson.
Yeah, the hard
What
part
connects
is Wilson.
to anything.
Who is he?
I mean, the link is the autopsy, kind of. It's the only thing that obviously in this has something to do with Wilson.
Yeah.
So...
And the thing that would connect those three is that they were all working together on the professor case.
So I guess I'll present the autopsy report.
All right.
See what happens. What? Are you skeptical?
No.
No. Okay.
Objection!
I had to perfect run this.
What is this? An autopsy report? Wait, this is 10 years old. From the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. What? My brother's autopsy report?
Yeah, about that. We stole that. Sorry. Sorry. My bad. Wasn't me. It was Iris. I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth.
Order in court. What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, Counsel?
The autopsy report of the professor's final victim, is an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant.
Not that accursed name again. The Professor.
I've personally researched all of the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls. And for a member of the aristocracy like Lord Clint Van Zeeks, it was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure. And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document.
As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asogi was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind. Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord Van Zeeks here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court.
Damn, you're not biased at all. A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true.
What?
Could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death.
That's outrageous.
And now, 10 years later, for some reason the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange.
Order at once!
10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer, to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain, whatever the cost. Ah, not the hallowed chalice. This is not the time for the hallowed chalice, sir.
You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here.
We went like 3 episodes without any crazy racism. We literally, you, Van Zeeks, you were doing so well. You were so good.
Old habits.
However, what? He broke his hallowed chalice.
He who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer.
Don't say that to your protege!
He's teaching him, he's schooling him.
Come on, Kazuma. You know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation. As it happens, I have evidence. What? As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin, recruited to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth.
What's truth?
Juicy! The truth about the evidence, and he acknowledged what I'd already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that autopsy 10 years ago.
What? A secret? I know nothing of any secret.
While we waited for my supposed mark in Jigoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword, Karuma, before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was.
Right, I see. You're that Athoga's young lad, are you? And what? You're gonna cut me down with that thing, is that it?
That will very much depend on the answers you give my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth, that's all.
Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately back then, we didn't have the evidence we needed to make the crime stick.
So, you admit it then. The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated.
It was for the good of the country. Anyway, I was just following orders.
Yikes! Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak!
I'm not saying another word.
Even if your life depends on it?
That's right. Even then.
So that's when the tip of the sword broke. Oh, Kazuma-sama. If the results of Clint Van Zeek's autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer, Gregson, and the lead coroner, Wilson, must have known about it. And they could only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Barak Van Zeeks. I think he disagrees with you.
In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize this exchange of assassins.
Seems a little extreme, but okay. Exactly. And as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange. Ah. So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Barak Van Zeeks.
Objection!
The witness objecting is delightful.
Sogi.
What?
What you just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago?
I heard it with my own ears. His shameful admission.
In that case, I know. the name of the Reaper.
Oh, really? That's exciting. Oh, what? Lord Van Zeeks? Get his ass, exactly.
I gave no such orders. Know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one.
Name and shame, Van Zeeks! Name and shame! If Lord Van Zeeks isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there is only one other person who could have done something like that. I believe I know who it is, too. You. I just had a feeling this name was going to come up. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me! The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey is... Alright. Alright, we can eliminate several of these people. I feel like this is trying to be so obvious and tell me who it is that I'm just like, oh no. I feel like I'm just guessing at this point.
Calm down. Focus. What have we learned from Gregson's confession?
They didn't have the evidence.
And that the evidence was forged.
Yeah.
And that he was ordered to do so.
By somebody who had to have had the authority.
By somebody who was on the case.
Yeah.
Can't have been Wilson. Wilson's dead.
Wilson's
Can't have been
dead.
Gregson. Gregson's dead.
Gregson's dead.
Can't have been Van Zeeks because Van Zeeks just said it wasn't him and he's our client. He's not allowed to be it.
Yeah. I'm thinking. So, but it would have to be somebody not only on the case, but an authority.
Yeah, because also had to do the exchange later.
So it could only be Strongheart. Like, am I crazy?
I already gave you the copy of Armored Core. It's yours now. I ain't defending this.
Don't defend this motherfucker. You did your best, Exception. You did your best.
I did a good
You
job.
did your best. You did your best. Fuck
I
this
still think
bitch.
he's cool.
F
I still
this.
think he's cool.
Fuck this dude. The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results
I feel like the only reason this was difficult
is
is
because you
I
misled
worked
me the
so
whole
hard.
time.
I have been fighting.
You've been
against
his
this
advocate this whole time.
time.
That is why it was difficult. I was like, there's no way.
If I wasn't here, this would have been the easiest question in the universe.
It really would have. It really would have. You've led me astray this time. And we've just ruined the dramatic tension by griping about it.
Don't worry.
It's all good. Is the
Okay,
Lord
it's
Chief
fun.
Justice himself, Lord Male Strongheart? What? Lord Strongheart? Yes, it's true that 10 years ago, the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court. But he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Van Zeeks, had been killed. Aren't you just the world's biggest motherfucker?
I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history.
No, you are the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history. Well, Lord Van Zeeks.
10 years ago, I was very new to my profession. But I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I pleaded for control of the case. The investigation to that point, the supplication of the lords to allow my brother's corpse to be examined. All the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial. But I see now. I was very much mistaken.
It was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and the coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force was still felt a decade later, on the other side of the world, by Seishiro Jigoku. Lord Strongheart. Everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. Nothing to say, huh? Oh, it's got the Hallowed Chalice again! Let's fucking go.
Boot 'em. The court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you, it is no joke. Consider this a formal accusal by the defense. It doesn't warrant a response.
Kiss my ass. Oh my god.
A formal accusal? Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense, a wild fantasy at best.
You're not going to defend yourself?
You claim there was some wrongdoing with Lord Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. That's utterly untrue.
Objection.
But I heard it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it.
And where's your evidence?
You killed his evidence. What?
Gregson's dead now, unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to the stand.
Ah,
That's
this
a
is the
funny
wrong
funny.
Ace Attorney.
In any other game.
In
this would
any
be
other
easy.
game. You mean to say?
I forget how the system works in your little backwater country.
Hey yo, now the racism jumping out again.
But in the courts of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case. I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything.
Ugh.
Order! Order in court!
I don't think so.
Following Inspector Gregson's murder, and in the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well, there's really no one left who could testify about the events of 10 years ago, is there?
You son of a...
So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange. This court has no business raking over the coals of a case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied. I take it there are no objections?
I think we all object, buddy. Kazuma. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do now? Is there no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. There is someone! There is someone. The coroner is not dead. And Mikotoba! He's also there. He witnessed the autopsy.
He wrote it.
He wrote it, yeah. So, unfortunately for them, there is someone. He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks. Even so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Scythe won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope.
Objection!
Objection! Kiss my ass, dude. Even Kazuma's like, what? Actually, there is one person. One person who could still testify about that autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left.
Who, Ryunosuke? Who? Tell me. Kazuma, Please. This trial can't end. Not yet. I'm not doing this for you. Ouch. Ouch. I'm doing it for the truth. Get wrecked, Strongheart. The person who wrote the autopsy! Present. Right? Yes. 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 Take that.
Heaven help us. Another Japanese.
I swear to God, the racism jumped out so hard again this time. The racism jumped out so hard. What the fuck? An expert in forensic medicine, my lord. Professor Eugene Mikotoba. 16 years ago. He came to London with Seishiro Jigaku and Genshin Asogi as a visiting student.
And what could his testimony possibly tell us?
Professor Mikotoba was the primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report.
Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
And it's not in his handwriting, sucker. It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it. In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened in that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us.
The defense's demand is denied.
I knew that was coming. You suck. What? But Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to the stand in minutes. No. Of course he's not going to agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows. He's too concerned about protecting himself.
Prosecutor Asogi, let me refresh your memory as you seem to have forgotten the prosecution's stance.
That you personally told him what it was. Cool,
Left foot forward, right foot back sideways, knees bent, hands up. Only minutes ago, you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and of masterminding the assassin exchange.
When he was like, what, like 19? Like, come on. I did, yes.
So present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete.
At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence. But that's exactly why we need witness testimony.
The Professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today.
You suck.
I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asogi, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father.
You son of a biscuit. Oh, that was the wrong thing to say. Ooh, I'm gonna fight you in the pit.
Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Seishiro Jigoku. As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Objection.
But we all know what will happen. That'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again.
By which you mean me?
I mean, yes, I wasn't gonna say it. You said it, not me.
Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Asogi, you will be remanded following these proceedings. Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word.
Ugh.
This futile game of revenge is over, young Master Asogi.
You suck. Man, you suck. You suck!
That will be all. I hereby declare this trial to be over. Cool.
We didn't even get to hear who said it. Shows! Let's fucking go! Mr. Sholmes!
This is no place for amateur detection, Mr. Sholmes.
He detected an asshole, so he had to come in here to inspect, okay?
May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public? You will leave the courtroom at once.
Objection.
Objection. Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jigoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say. Get over yourself.
Lord Mail Strongheart. It's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage.
Is it really? And why would that be?
You need only recall your own words from the opening of the trial to answer that question, if I may.
We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it?
The whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered.
It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today.
I put it to you, my dear fellows. Should the trial end at this juncture?
After all, why have you been invited to attend and not along to the prevarications of your superiors? That was a long word there to film.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
Me.
Good word.
Order! Order in court!
Disorder for you, buddy.
It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. Door that is ajar.
Let us emerge from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ascendancy.
For you and you alone, my dear fellows,
Have the power to push this door open now. The auditors in the gallery have no rights to express an opinion on court proceedings. Silence!
I don't think that's gonna work.
he's right. The judge has absolute authority here. Yes, if he calls the trial to an end, it must end. But will it really do? Since dark things occurring behind the scenes, things indeed. Is there a single person here present who can honestly say it doesn't feel the same?
What's...
The trial should go on. Summon the witnesses.
That's right. We need to clear this up before that young Japanese fellow is remanded in custody.
No, Cosmo! Distressed whale noises.
My lord, you assured those present that you would uncover the whole truth here.
Vindicate yourself of this outlandish accusation.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the very foundation of British law.
Toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery.
Testify, testify.
On with the trial!
Well, my lord? You hear the voice of British justice, I take it. I think you'll find it will be rather awkward to silence.
The court will recess briefly.
Yes, you can go kill him? Like, what the fuck?
I have no intention of shrinking from these allegations. Bailiff, arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once.
And somebody make sure he doesn't get murdered on the way here, please.
As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene.
A recess won't be necessary, my lord.
Ah, Sholmes, you did it!
Pardon?
Mikotoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today and is waiting in the antechamber as we speak. I do believe he's been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact.
What? Professor Mikotoba is here, in the courthouse. Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen, did you? He knows everything. He literally knows everything.
My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely.
I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know.
Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. However, you are of no further use here. Kindly leave the courtroom at once.
Oh no. No. Oh, come on.
Of course. In truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
I trust you have Iris's little lucky charm with you?
Where are you going, Sholmes? Absolutely. It's still in my pocket.
She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please.
Oh, of course.
in that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand.
So it's Lord Strongheart. He's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is this trial going to take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom and confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under. Yeah, get him, Ryunosuke! Let's fucking go! To be continued! Damn!
Yeah!
I like that I've been right since day fucking one about this man. I hated Strongheart from day one. You thought you could hoodwink me.
Okay, look, I
You
don't
thought
even
you could
think my
bamboozle
greatest-
me.
I don't think my greatest bamboozle was the fact that I tried to make Strongheart out to be, like, cool.
Uh-huh.
I think my greatest bamboozle was trying to make Strongheart out to be an archetype in game one. I teed him up as this, like, physical stand-in for the British political machinations as, like, a way to personify, like, all these forces of the world that Ryunosuke was, like, foreign to.
And he actually was. Yeah.
I tried to make him a metaphor. I thought that was my greatest trick. That he wasn't a character, he was a metaphor. He was symbolism.
No, I didn't
No,
believe you for a
no.
second. I didn't believe you for a second.
Yeah, he was definitely probing to see if you were like a replacement assassin or something in game one.
Yeah. That second quote there about the mission, that was when I started being like, oh, this motherfucker. I don't know what he's up to, but he's up to something. He up to something. Oh, I love this game. I'm gonna miss this game. Okay, so we reconvene on Sunday, guys. Like, I don't know what time yet. We'll figure it out in a minute. But yeah, we'll we'll reconvene in a few days to finish this up.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust myself to do it on a Wednesday night when I gotta go to work on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 5 hours last time was brutal. And whether it takes 3 hours or 5 hours this time, you know, whatever.
We're seeing it through.
Yeah, we're seeing it through. I am also genuinely excited. I'm gonna be really sad that it's over and I'm gonna cry like a baby, but like it's okay. It's okay. I'll just have to go read fanfic after this. It's fine. But then I'm allowed to read. I'm allowed to look at fan art and read fanfic after Sunday. I'm allowed. I have been like avoiding it because nobody will let me look at it, and I'm like, thank you. But now all the secrets are coming out. Oh, interesting. I didn't know there was a fan game. That's cool.
There's always fan games.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to check it out.
Meanwhile,
Alright.
I've been planning the structure of like the games we do past this point. I know you're adamant that we go in chronological order. And I will adhere to that in terms of the bundling of the trilogies. But where do I put Ghost Trick?
I don't know.
I'm thinking like, okay, it should come after the Phoenix Wright trilogy, but I don't know if I want it to be before or after Investigations. I don't want it to be the last. Well, okay, it could be the last thing we do, but I want to play it.
I love that you're going into this with all the spoilers and you're still just like enthusiastic. That's great.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Okay. This is extremely weird for me because I'm a massive walking contradiction. Okay. This is gonna be a whole chain. I don't actually enjoy like watching VTubers that much. I don't do it. But I am one also. And yet, despite me not being a person who watches VTubers, I am a big fan of like existing and experiencing emotions vicariously through other people experiencing a thing.
That's
you would
fair.
think that would make me somebody who watches VTubers, but I think I don't know. I'm not in it for the long haul there. I prefer like Let's Players and like proper video playthroughs, like in like a refined enclosed space. I think it's the chat actually. I don't like it being such a corruptible space. And
Don't say that in front of the chat, okay?
I know.
Don't tell chat you don't love them.
I took on this mission here both to like be on the front lines to see you experience all these great moments so I could like enjoy them along with you, but also to try and help keep the pristine condition of everything.
Yeah. The people who influenced me to play this game have been very adamant about like keeping the spoilers away from me and not letting anybody spoil me. So like
I'm definitely a part of that coalition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're like, nope, don't look it up. No, don't look at this. Don't look at that. You can't see this. I'll look it up for you. Risha did the same thing. I'll look it up for you. I'll get you the
like,
PNGs.
Pictures for you.
Yeah, like y'all were like, I was like, I need a picture of Kazuma for my debut, and y'all on it. But yeah, I have to say, this in particular, okay, this is so off topic, but like, trust me bro, like I we're just sitting here with no music. I have a cosplay skit idea now from this trial.
Really?
Yeah. But I can't do it the way I want to do it because of the freaking spoilers. So I'd have to get anyway, I'll explain it off stream.
Okay.
It's funny, I promise. But anyway, yeah, so we're almost there, guys. We're almost to the end. We are savoring it. We are savoring it. I am marinating in the drama right now. And Strongheart being bullied by Sholmes is amazing. Yeah, get bullied, mother. Yeah. He deserves it. If anybody in this deserves to be bullied, it's Strongheart. The fact that he would let another person take the fall for him is crazy. Like, that makes him such a jackass. And, like, I get that, like, he wasn't exactly trying to be like, okay, we just proved that you're innocent, so we good, fam? Yeah, let's recess. Woo! Trial over. Like, he wasn't trying to implicate someone else to that degree. But at the same time, he, like, wasn't not doing that as well. So
it was kind of a rising escalation of, oh, you want to play that game.
Yeah.
Where he was completely fine to just let it go, be like, all right, stuff's resolved, all's good. But the perpetual prodding and, like, force from a lot of Kazuma and a little Rinosuke forced him to be like, well, I'm gonna have to start putting some speed bumps for this bus here.
Yeah. And I feel a little bad for Kazuma because, I mean, he's in it for the right reasons, but he's also in it for the wrong reasons from Ryunosuke's perspective, because he's in it for, like, his own personal sense of justice rather than the concept of justice, which is really more what Ryunosuke is about. Like, he has no... If Kazuma wasn't there, Ryunosuke wouldn't have a personal stake, right? Like... Yeah. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting the way it's set up, because every time I start to think I disagree with something this game has done, like a direction that the story has gone in, it reassures me that, like, I'm gonna be okay. Like, that it's gonna pan out and the story is gonna end, like, the way it ought to, and that it's not just cheap shots, and it's not, like, cheapening the emotions and stuff like that. I want to also point out, there was a part after Kazuma, like, had his little breakdown there and, like, put his head back up, and did you notice how the angle they had him at made him look younger? It actively made his face look younger. It made him look, like, very vulnerable. And I thought that was really cool. That was really cool. Whereas, like, Ryunosuke's physical reactions are played more for, like, almost humor. You're supposed to actually feel the despair that Kazuma is feeling. And I love that they set it up like that. Because, like, Ryunosuke's emotional investment is via Kazuma, and it's very important that Ryunosuke makes the decision that he is pursuing justice and not just the truth for Kazuma's sake, right? And I think it's a good thing that he can do both of those things at the same time, you know? Like, it's a very good thing that his pursuit of justice is also pursuit of Kazuma's ends, right? But I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent, but anyway.
I have a tangent I'd like to go off on.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
It's not that extreme. This and the last case have, like, converged, like, Kazuma's new sort of perception to us.
Mm-hmm.
Where he used to be at the very beginning this, like, infallible, very straightforward, direct, like, we will pursue truth and justice, and I am your partner, and we shall get through this together type deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's then been gone for, like, an entire game and a half, and now he's back as this, like, misguided justice-seeking revenge type deal. But separately and at the exact same time, we have Van Zieks, who was teed off immediately as this hyper racist prosecutor dude
Yeah.
who is just like some force of death and destruction that we're just opposing through the power of integrity and truth and stuff. And then through learning his history and his relation to Strongheart, especially triggered by the reveal that the actual Reaper is Strongheart, that he's basically a demonstration of Kazuma if he fell through to this like misguided justice, because Van Zieks, taken with false evidence to pursue revenge/justice against the person who killed his brother, was a ploy by Strongheart to, you know, forge evidence and fake the whole thing and then cover up the fact that it was, you know, not above board, is now parallel to Kazuma's attempt to just throw everything at a wall to convict the wrong guy for being the Reaper.
Yeah. It is
The
interesting.
same guy.
Yeah.
They're the same person.
But Kazuma's getting a redemption arc out of this. So
Kazuma's got Renosuke.
he's got Renosuke on his side. Yeah.
Van Zieks only has Renosuke now and not 10 years earlier, which is his problem.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the last few mysteries kind of pan out as. Because there's a little left. There's a little left to discover. It's interesting. Very interesting. I love this game. I try not to love this game as much as I do, but I love this game.
You're allowed to love stuff.
Yeah. I was looking so hard for Ace Attorney merch at the con. I was looking so hard, and there was one person, and it was something I'd already bought, and I was like, oh. So I didn't get more stuff, but maybe next time. Okay. Anyway, I guess we can find someone to raid. I don't feel like raiding. I'm going to bed. I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna send you guys off to Eeps if it is Eeps o'clock in your time zone. If not, have a good whatever. And I will see you again on Sunday. Exception and I will discuss and find a good time, and I will try to get it up in the next day or so.
Yeah.
Well, pick a time, because I don't think I work on Sunday. So,
I don't either. Well, okay, I do, but like I'm flexible.
Okay.
Sunday is when I typically like upload the VODs and edit the thumbnails. But I can do that. That doesn't take the whole day. I can fit a stream in there.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining me. I will look forward to the end. Wow. It's been like a whole year and a bit, man. Yeah. We almost finished it in a year. We got pretty close.
Yeah.
I just kept having to take substantial breaks, but that's okay. All right. Life's life. Anyway, that's all I got. And we will see you guys in a couple of days. Same place, same time. Not same time. Same place. Same place.
A little earlier time.
Same game, earlier time. Possibly during the daytime. I don't know. We'll see when people are awake. I'm planning to awaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Farewell.
Bye-bye. you guys enjoy the new outro music.